Yeah, she ain't much to look at, but she says I ain't Ricky Nelson either. Remember Ricky Nelson, Ozzie and Harriet?
No.
Oh my God.
I'm too young for that.
I seen him in concert. I seen him in concert at Knott's Berry Farm in California. Yeah.
Is he related to Willie?
No, he's not related to him. They had a program, Ozzie and Harriet, on TV, like Leave It to Beaver. Ozzie.
Oh, okay.
Ricky Nelson, I seen him at Knott's Berry Farm in Marine Corps when I just got out of boot camp.
That's pretty
75, 1975.
That's way before I was taught.
We weren't old enough to drink. 19, you couldn't drink in California. You got to be 21, highly old. You steal my carpenter?
All right, attention please. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call. Joe?
Here.
Mike?
Yeah.
Billy?
Here.
Pam?
Here.
In attendance. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
A motion approved.
Oh,
Nope, I couldn't hear.
Billy made a motion to
I'll second
approve.
that.
Perfect. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Number 4 is PC members to discuss and vote on request by Robert Klein and Chris Klein. This is not open to the public for comment. We've already taken public comment on Tuesday, so this is for the planning commission members to have a discussion. If there's a question or somebody is addressed to a question, then they can answer, but otherwise it's not open to public. So I'll start with Joe. Do you have any questions or comments or a statement you would like to make?
Not yet.
Okay, so if you want to later, you have to let me know.
I will.
Mike, anything?
No.
Billy? No. All right. Pam?
I do. Here. This last public hearing did not bring up anything new or different. And while it doesn't align with the narrative pushed by those in opposition, everyone has been heard and the concerns brought up have been looked into. Further, I have confirmed with the Plan Commission Chair, the Town Board Chair, and the Klein family that everything is currently in order with the DNR and a potential purchaser, and with zero further town involvement, a large scrap processing facility could be grandfathered in. And I have actually seen and reviewed the DNR permit paperwork showing that Center State Recycling, a small version of what could be there, is already legally open and operational. These are facts. If you want to hear them or believe them or not, these are facts. I have heard some people state they would rather have a scrap yard. While I still believe a campground would be a friendlier addition to the town and the county than a metal scrap processing facility, I have come recently to think about this a little differently with the benefits of each. I believe that processing facility, which would remain open year-round full-time, would help a few more locals. There would be a few more job opportunities that would be full-time rather than seasonal, quite possibly even with benefits, which we don't see here a lot. And when I look around the town, I still see a lot of places that need to clean up outside. With that processing facility, perhaps that would entice people to do so. Maybe even encourage town officials to push them harder so we can all be proud of how our town looks on the outside. And to quiet those who have been making so much negative noise would definitely be beneficial for the town, at least until the reality of what they actually wished for sets in. On a personal note, I come from a family of fabricators, metal fabricators. And in December, Mech and Watoma shut down. We lost our metal supplier. So we personally have no need for a campground, but we could personally benefit from a scrap facility. So this has become much more difficult for me. With this vote, I have an obligation to the town because of my position on the Plan Commission. But the line between what's best for the town and what's best for me personally has now become very blurred. So no matter how this vote ends tonight, it is my last vote regarding this request. If it were to arise again, I will be recusing myself for the reasons stated above. Finally, I implore of all residents, no matter how the vote turns out tonight or at the town board meeting next week, everyone, please accept those results with grace. Calling others corrupt or liars just because one doesn't get their way is not okay. If anyone is doing anything illegal or corrupt, and I've said this before, report it. Otherwise, just know that those words could become actionable. Enough of the gaslighting, accusations, and name calling. It is time for Big Flats to move forward again. And I truly hope at some point we can all begin to heal. Thank you.
I would like to say that we've had the opportunity to hear from the community. In response, I am proud of the Plan Commission members. Everyone takes the decisions that we make seriously and looks at all the information. Decisions are made by looking at what is in the best interest of the town. Unfortunately, not everyone is happy with decisions that are made. People throw terms around like corruption or that we're being secretive, which is not the case. We've always been open and followed the proper procedures. In decision-making, we use several tools. We look at the comprehensive plan, the zoning ordinance, land division ordinance, as well as public comment, and consulting with attorneys or other professionals. We have confirmed that the soil and water samples were done in 2024. The DNR has signed off on this, and if you have a question about it, you can certainly go to the DNR website and look it up. The town also has a copy. The town also has a copy of the current permit for the scrapyard or recycling, whatever it's, Central Wisconsin Heavy Metal Recycling. The town has a copy of that. It is permitted and can be in use without a change in zoning, as stated in the past. And if you have a question, you can certainly look at page 23 of the zoning ordinance. Nonetheless, the client's desire is to put in a campground first and foremost. The comprehensive plan. In the comprehensive plan, we have the commercial development that should be adjacent to county roads or state roads. This is on page 66. In the zoning ordinance, we list campgrounds as permitted. This is under commercial development, page 18. I reviewed the comprehensive plan, pages 69 and 70, from Nancy's comments, which were at the public hearing. This section talks about land use and uses state and North Central Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission statistical analysis. They looked at historical development as well as an influx and outflow of households. It's true that our town has not had much in the way of new commercial use over the years. I can only think of Dollar General and now recently the ACEC substation for recent business development. Using projections, they expected around 7 acres would be needed for future commercial development. This is statistical information and not a goal that we set. If you consider that on page 18 of the zoning ordinance, we list campgrounds or mobile home parks as permitted for commercial development, you would expect that more than 7 acres would be required. What Nancy failed to mention or didn't look at was on the very next page, page 71 of the comprehensive plan, and it looks at land values. The statistics for 2022 show that the average value per acre of residential property was $15,309, and for commercial property was $38,132. This confirms my conversation with Jake, the property assessor, that a campground will bring more tax revenue to the town. Besides revenue, other businesses will benefit from increased traffic to their sites. Some jobs will be available to community members. Another dining option is available, as well as event space for community utilization. People camp to get away from the city or their usual routine. They're looking for peace and quiet and for time with family and friends. This is the same thing that I hear that community members want. The fire chief, sheriff, and other professionals or departments have been contacted related to concerns about fire risk, traffic, crime, and noise, etc. It is not anticipated by any of these professionals that there will be a strain on our public services with the addition of a campground. And yes, Adams County does have a noise ordinance. I did look it up, and anyone else can do so the same. It's under Adams County, Wisconsin noise ordinance. As for the petition, I'm not really sure what to think. I've heard that people at Moe's as well as Bighorn Bar and Grill have felt that they've been pressured into signing. Matt, I'm glad you're here tonight. You asked all of us, would we want to be near or across from a campground? And my answer is that I would be okay with it. In fact, there was some land across from me that was for sale several years ago, and I wondered what would go in there. And I felt that if I didn't buy it, I would have to accept whatever went in, whether it was housing or a campground or development and whatever. Yes, summers are busy. Camp season is April 1st to October 31st. It would bother me for a bit, and I'd get used to it, just as I would even if there was additional housing. I don't have any questions related to the application. I feel like we've done a thorough review of the issues. No matter what, someone will disagree with the conclusion that we've come to. I encourage the public to review the comprehensive plan and our ordinances and to regularly attend meetings to understand the application and review process. Now, Joe, did you have anything else?
Nope. It was answered already.
All right. In that case, let's take a vote. Please state your response on the sheet here, and then pass it down to me, please. All right, so Billy approves. Joe approves. Mike approves. Pam approves. And I approve. So all in favor.
So I make
So-
a motion to recommend to the town board.
Pam makes a motion to make a recommendation to the town board, and that is for the rezone request as well as an amendment to the comprehensive plan, map 7. And Billy seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, I don't have any current applications, so I don't have a next regular meeting scheduled. If something comes in, we'll set a meeting for July. Otherwise, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
No, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.